said 36, but I'm telling you, I'm only giving you 30.
And she said no. And he's like, you're gonna do the whole thing for just $2? She's like, yeah, next. She literally was like, next. Because he knew that he had it. And he was like, we'll take something out. And she took it out and added the money back and made it more expensive.
He's crazy.
But even, she did it to the other girl too. But she was gonna pay for it. The sticker on it was like, it said $5, and she charged her more for it. And she was like, it's okay, I'll do it. But she gave her like double prices. They kept changing the price.
I know, I'm happy. Like, once I got my shit, I just put it up there. At first, it was gonna be like, whatever she put in the calculator, it was like 57. I was like, $57? Fuck.
Yeah.
But I was like, what? And then like she was like, she did something and it took 10 off. And I was like, that's good. I don't care. But it was more so like, damn.
Like, some places, it's like you really don't want to go to places where it's super touristy, because it's like that. Like, they upcharge because they just know you have it. A lot of places, you don't want them to find out that you're American. Like,
I mean, and also too, we could pay in Tanzi money, because two of the vendors like Tanzi or USD.
Yeah.
And Tanzi and USD,
but it's still like, they're still like upcharging. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And I told him too. I made sure he had cash. I was like, I get it, but I need change.
And oh, I love the trees, man. It's so cute.
The trees are sick. They literally just talk to you pretty much.
Dude, you gotta watch that fucking movie, Carnell. You didn't finish it with me. It's a show, that's why. But it was really good on Netflix. The OA. Carnell, the ending was amazing. Like, oh, I want to tell you, but I don't want to tell you because I want you to watch it. If I tell you, you're not gonna watch it. When I got my hair cut the last time, the lady and it's my fault, because she was like, how do you want your hair parted? And I was like, just do whatever. Because really, I didn't know, like, which is why I told her whatever, because I didn't know what I want, and I still don't really know which part I like with my hair. But I know I don't like the middle part. And I like this, like, when I have it like this, I get so many compliments. Like, it's very pretty. But I'm not comfortable with it, because I don't wear it like that a lot. So when I look at myself, I'm like,
Looks wild and nice.
Yeah, it doesn't look right to me though, you know? Or like, I'm just uncomfortable about this part.
I have a picture where your hair looks like that when you had your green hair, and I was like, it looks sick. And then you was like, yeah.
I look so much better with like this, but I just not, me personally, I'm not comfortable with it yet. You just have to wear it more so you get comfortable. But like, anyways, I told her part it however, like cut my part however, and she did it in a way that I didn't like. I did not like it. But you know, some people, their parts are super crazy. Like hers, she was like, your part is very easy. You know, you can do your part however you want. Her part is like a zigzag. That's so hard. Like, and she showed me, she was like, because she has dreads, so you could see her scalp, but like literally it's like a zigzag, and she's like, it's so hard to deal with. And she's a hairstylist. Some people think their feet right here.
Oh, yeah. You okay, bud?
Yeah, it's just like a lot of rocks too.
A very kind lady by the name of Jenny, who is the founder of Cheese's Rock, decided to take him in. She provided Mr. Chaka with a home, and she gave him a family and a means to live a long and happy life. So that is how Chaka ended up in our care. And just by the way, this is Chaka's favorite spot to be scratched, just on his chest. So just now, when you guys get the opportunity to come up and interact with him, then you know where his secret spot is. Now, when Chaka first joined us, he was behaving like any other zebra that you would meet while on safari. He didn't understand that we were here to help him. In fact, he viewed us as though we were predators. So our first step with this big boy is we needed to work on our relationship with him. Now, if you look at my colleague, Mr. Jeff 4 this afternoon, watch how it is possible for Jeff 4 to walk Chaka from point A to point B without putting a harness on him, without pulling him in any direction, but simply walking alongside him and pointing his finger. But they're not training behind this behavior Chaka knows that we want him to follow us. And if he does a good job with that behavior, what my colleague will be doing next is absolutely important to this kind of training. We will be feeding Chaka not just any snacks, but his favorite snacks, which is an apple and a carrot. So this is the way to Mr. Chaka's heart. Now, Chaka, he is a social animal just like us, so he does enjoy physical contact. And physical contact for us with Chaka is a very big step in our relationship with him, because he's allowing us into his space where we can do a lot of damage to him, but he's trusting that we are not going to harm him. So initially he didn't allow us to get close to him, but today with the so we do this kind of training for Chaka's medical training. Let's say for tomorrow example, Chaka falls ill. He needs to be comfortable with a vet coming close to him. This vet needs to bring equipment Chaka has never in his life seen before, and all of this must be able to be accomplished with the least amount of stress to Mr. Chaka. The good news is that each and every one of you, you are a new sight and you are a new smell to Mr. Chaka. So by you, so if we have food, water, shelter, and security, medical attention, we should have a shot with giving him a long life. So at the moment, Chaka has access to fresh water each and every day. It's very easy for us to supply him with that. And his diet at the moment has been designed by Wildlife Vet. So at the moment, he's getting wheat bran, barley, oats. He gets a very small portion of apples and carrots. It's just a snack. And what's making up a bulk of his diet is a local grass. So Chaka shares his enclosure with a small pony named Murphy and a stallion named Sakina that is much bigger. Can learn in a stressful situation, and it's exactly the same with this boy. So by keeping him calm and relaxed, we are allowing his mind to think through these processes. He's quite forceful. Take the rose. Great job. Thank you very much.
Hey, Mama.
That guy next, Teo, just above the door there. Teo, what many people do not know about these monkeys is that they can drink alcohol.
I know that.
We actually have to wean them off of alcohol. So there will be times when we will be giving these monkeys alcohol, because just as is the case with a human, if they suddenly stop cold turkey, they can actually die. So fortunately enough, in Teo's case, he was only drinking alcohol for 1 or 2 months, and this wasn't a long enough time for him to be weaned onto This is here in Zanzibar. And when they informed him about this animal in his staff's care, he had absolutely no idea that his staff were keeping the animals in this way. So with his permission, we were able to go into this hotel, we were able to collect Teo, and we were able to bring him back to Cheetah's Rock. Now, he is a physically healthy boy. He doesn't have any kind of medical illnesses, but he is very young. And so what we're going to do is we're going to grow him up until he's the size of Rocky, the big vervet monkey, and then he will be released into nature. So I noticed he bit you. Don't take offense to that. Teo, he is constantly trying to prove that he is a big, tough monkey. And that's in part because he looks up to the dominant monkey in this enclosure, which is Lushan. And that means that even sometimes if you're giving him some cuddles, he will turn around and he'll bite you, just to let you know that he's a big guy. Don't play with me. Don't play with me, you know? Exactly. Now, just next in line, and the monkey that looks very similar to Teo is Humpy. As I mentioned, his full name is Sir Humsalot. And he gets that name because in his first week at Cheetah's Rock, he jumped in the back of my head, he humped me, he humped my colleagues, and he even humped Jenny, the founder of Cheetah's Rock. So what was very nice is that in his care, firstly, he's another beach boy monkey, but this time, the beach boy was taking the monkey to a particular hotel, and he was allowing the staff and the visitors to this hotel to take photos with this monkey. And what these people could also do was hold the monkey with them, like monkey, and they rode off. They effectively stole the monkey from the children. Now, in doing this, the children were very upset, as you can imagine, so they approached the police. And in any other parts of the world, the police will ask for paperwork to show that you are able to keep this animal, but not in Zanzibar. The police instead chose to intimidate the foreigners. So they tracked these foreigners down to the beach, but what they did not know is that this couple actually owned a yacht. So they jumped on the yacht with the monkey and they sailed away. They kept Yo-Yo at sea for 1 week, and after this week, they brought him here to Cheetah's Rock. But if the police found him, they could have found themselves in serious trouble. So yes, very great length, but
should have been anyway.
yeah. Yeah. Bigger, basically bigger, and they also can molt as well. She is the solitary species, so spotted hyenas are social and she is solitary, and they are smaller as well. But this animal, together with the brown hyenas, they're one of the very few animals that can actually consume human flesh. Easy! Onto the contents of their mouth, but the way their mouth is designed, they can't actually hold onto any of the yolk inside here. So the way she treats this egg is very different to other predators, because she's going to highlight to us her intelligence the way she eats this egg. So yeah, just watch very carefully. Hold on. Just push it through it straight into her mouth. Okay. She'll run away first. So did you notice how gentle she was with the egg? So she firstly cradled the egg in her mouth, and she of course ran away with it. But then, an animal's eyes, that immediately indicates to you that that's not an albino. If you were an albino, those eyes would be red or pink. And the reason is because albinos don't have coloration in their eyes. What you're looking at is the blood vessels in their eyes, the color of that. Okay. So now we know that he is not an albino. What he is a Timbavati white lion. These animals were discovered more than 80 years ago in an area just next to the Kruger National Park called the Timbavati. And imagine living your whole life seeing brown lions and then suddenly one day taking a walk and seeing a white lion. To the locals in that area of the Timbavati, they absolutely believed that these animals were the ghosts of their ancestors. So they respected them, they feared them. But when pictures started to do the rounds and when the world found out about Timbavati white lions, that activated hunters and poachers from every corner of the world. And the result of that is that today they are extinct in nature. There's no group in nature. They are all extinct. And if there is a group in nature, no more than a handful of people will have that information, because as soon as too many people find this out, they will hunt these animals and they will kill them. You are looking at... Sorry?
Do you only have a male?
No, we have a male, we have 2 white lion females, and then we also have a brown lioness, which is his third wife, but she's carrying the white gene. So if she mates with him, the offspring will be white babies.
Once you guys start to produce offspring, will you release them into the wild or will you keep them in captivity?
So the lady's question is, if we start to produce offspring, will we release them into nature? And it comes back to what I said earlier on, where nature is not safe right now for these animals. The reason is because this animal here, firstly, every part of his body is incredibly valuable. So very quickly, think of...
somewhere there. I will just let him continue with his speech, and when he's finished, then I will be there for your questions. Thank you so much. Cheers.
Thank you, Jenny.
Definitely, this handsome boy right here, together with one of his male siblings, they were the 2 cubs that were rejected. So if things continued like that, this animal, he would have been dead. Him and his brother would have died. But fortunately enough, some rangers in this reserve, they saw the situation, they collected Aslan and his brother, they handed him over to a conservation center, and they nursed him back to health. And as I mentioned, when he was only 3 months old, then he was handed over to Jenny for safekeeping. And it is for this reason that the poachers then jumped into the enclosure with them, and they hacked off Savannah's, all of her family members, they hacked their heads off, and they hack their paws off. And this is for the reasons we mentioned earlier on. A lion's claw, a lion's tooth, lion bone is incredibly valuable. Yeah, so this is a situation that does hit home, and with Savannah being the sole survivor of her family, that means if she has to die today or tomorrow, that is an entire bloodline lost. So what we felt is very important is that we give this girl the opportunity for her genetics to be back in the wild again. So what we are going to do firstly is we are going to mate her with Aslan. We want them to have some beautiful babies. And just to answer your question, you were asking about what do we do with the cubs. If we, the idea right now is to increase genetic variation. So what we are going to do is we're going to take these cubs, we are going to give them to other responsible facilities all around the world. And once we increase their genetic diversity, then our final step when their numbers are healthy will be to release them back into nature. But the governments need to play the game. If the governments continue to be as corrupt as they are, if they continue to allow what is happening right now to these animals, then all this work is pointless if we put them into nature to be killed. He is a physically fit animal. He can hunt for himself in nature, but at the end of the day, no matter how physically fit he is, he can't survive a bullet. How many cubs can these animals have at once? Usually they can have 2 to 4, but there are some instances where a female can even give birth to more. So she can even give birth to 4 cubs twice a year. Yeah, so
More. We have been, well, I'm German, but we have been in Spain for 7 years. The place was just outgrowing, so there was no chance anymore to rescue more animals. So we decided, yes, we move. That was far before that crisis thing. And yes, we also inherited some money because of some of my family members died at that year. So we said, yes, of course, that is what they wanted. They wanted us to do this. Where we do it depends on factors like no storms, beautiful weather, no political storms either. So just be safe for the animals you have. And yes, I was reading a book in school, Zanzibar or the Last Reason, and I thought, okay, let's have a look how Zanzibar is. That's how we came here. I did not know anything about Zanzibar. I've never been to Zanzibar in my life before.
very playful. If you guys would like to feed her, you can grab a seat right where I am. Just grab a piece of meat, put it flat in your hand, and then straight into her mouth. No problem. Yeah.
Be careful.
Okay, guys. You guys take it.
Come here.
You guys want to squeeze in behind her? If you want to squeeze around this way, get a shot from the front. I hope you guys got all of the things you need.
Yes, we did. Thank you.
Please travel safe, guys. And it's just my pleasure. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay, so what I have
I wasn't ready for that.
boy. Okay, and as I promised,
You want to do it again?
He can have a baby.
I'm gonna come down. Okay, so next, guys, what I would like you to do is, I just want you to feel this boy's tongue very quickly. Yeah. So I'm gonna offer you, I'm gonna leave it there for you too. So please, as he's licking, please come and touch his tongue. And if you don't.
Shit, yeah, right. But then my belly's
King. If you go put King, put in the middle name. I think my cousin name her baby Halo. Yeah, I like them. I like that. I say Cruz is nice. Okay, so we have a game.
Jeff?